Hello and welcome back to Understanding Crypto. My name is Herve, and every other day on this channel, I try to bring you crypto in the easiest way possible on the internet. I've covered things like predictive analysis, research, and tutorials to help provide you with the knowledge you may need as you go through these crazy markets. And yes, folks, this is quite literally my full-time job. So yeah, if you want to support me in this work, you may really want to click that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I noticed that a lot of my viewers are not subscribed. So if that's you, yes, I see you. You should click that like and subscribe button. It doesn't take any time and it will not cost you anything. So don't worry, you're not going to pay me for clicking the subscribe button. Anyway, jokes aside, in the last video, we did suggest that BTC may very well come back down like so. The reason is because we were looking at BTC's CME gap, which it was somewhere around 64.3 to 64.2. And currently, we have not finished filling that gap, meaning that there is still a chance that we come back to the downside and even extend to these other levels down here. So on the BTC to USDT chart, what we can see is that we actually are bottoming at the golden pocket. Now, a good confluence for how high we go in this type of projection is actually the first drop right here. So this first drop may very well become resistance. This means that BTC can go as high as so, maybe to somewhere around 68k, just to have a retracement back down like so and still move back to the downside. Now, by the end of the video, I will tell you why I'm still bullish. Yeah, I'm overall still bullish. But yeah, this is the intraday, like what could happen in the lower time frames, and we will go to the higher time frames and see what could happen there. This can project price back to the upside, and we may very well just go back down from here still. Yeah, so it's not like guaranteed that we go as high as so. However, it is possible that we continue to the upside to somewhere around 68k before another drop. But the idea is that we may come back as low as these levels right here before we go back to the upside. The zones where we could potentially bottom at is the 63.3 to 62.2. That could easily become our bottom. Now, the 0.786 is here at 63.9. So if we were to take a zone where this thing could potentially bottom at, that zone will be here at between 63.9 and 62.2. So at these levels right here, we could be expecting some sort of bottom on Mr. BTC. So it's possible that we just do something that looks like so and go straight to the upside with no retracement like so. But what we are saying is, given the analysis that we have before us, we have reasons to believe that we might go to the upside perhaps as high as 67.6 to 68k, which will be this level right here. But ultimately, there is still a chance that we come back as low as here. To be honest, I hope we do not. Yeah, I want my coins to go up. I really hope we don't go down, but I'm just telling you what I see. Now, what would be the case if BTC went below this low right here? If it just went straight to the downside, where does it go then? Now, to make these videos shorter, I just do the analysis before the video, and in the video I just show you where I think it could go, yeah, to make it shorter, because I find a lot of people complaining that my videos are usually too long. So I just do the analysis and I just show you what I think will happen. Now, we have two situations. If BTC takes this low right here, we now have targets to the downside. If BTC does not take this low right here and instead goes to the upside, then we have targets to the upside. So let's start with the downside targets and then we can end the video on a high note, yeah? That way you will be happy and you will click that like button happily. Anyway, so if it does take this low right here, there becomes a chance that BTC goes as low as 56k. So a move down to 56.1k could serve as the bottom for Mr. BTC. If it does take this low right here and continues to plummet, which means that is a very good zone as well to be thinking of accumulating some coins. If 56.1k does not hold, what will happen then? Note that after 56.1k, you could see a move that looks like this and then another move to the downside. So if this actually happens and we continue to the downside, what's the ultimate move? What's the worst that could happen? Well, the worst that could happen is BTC going between 46 to 43k. So 46.7 to 43.1. For now, this is the lowest I can see for Mr. BTC. Like the absolute lowest I can see for Mr. BTC, given the analysis that we can get from these levels right here. It does not mean that BTC cannot go lower than this, just that I don't have any analysis. Perhaps with more data, we will see something else, but for now, that is the absolute lowest that we can see. And there is a very good chance that it remains that way for a very long time. Now, to the upside, what's the best that can happen to Mr. BTC? If we do not take this low right here, if we don't go below this low, or let's just say that we swiftly go below it and we continue back to the upside. But ideally, we should not take this low right here for these projections to the upside to remain true. So if we don't take this low and continue to the upside instead, what becomes of Mr. BTC then? Well, we will have targets at the 77k zone, the 86k zone, and the most that we can see, given our analysis, is the 100k zone. Specifically 105 to 106. That will be our maximum that we can see given the analysis from here. We are not saying that we must go to $105,000. Just so that we make this clear. We are not saying that it cannot go higher than $105,000. All we are saying is, given the analysis that we can perform from this price structure right here, the most we can suggest for where price could go is 105. We don't have any analysis or evidence to suggest that it goes to 110. Perhaps with more data, we can see something else. But for now, that's the maximum that we can see, and that could be so for a very long time as well. So that is the same way that I get this level down here. It does not mean lower. It does not mean we must go there. It's just what the analysis says. I hope we all understand, yeah? So yeah, that's basically it for how high BTC could go and how low BTC could go. As we drop, a lot of people will say, oh, I'm afraid this is 10k coming, but we already see how low we could go given the analysis. If anything changes, I will of course make another video to update you that, hey, we now have new evidence to suggest that we may bottom here, or we may go as low as this, or we may go as high as this. But for now, this is the evidence that we have to suggest these levels like so. Now, you might be like, all right, what's your own take? Yeah, am I now saying we are going down or we are going up? Well, we have not invalidated the move to the upside. This means that Mr. BTC is still very well bullish. We have not had any evidence to suggest that this is more possible, which means that I'm still looking up. I hope you understand. If we do take this low, I could potentially start targeting these levels. By I could, I mean that when we do, or if we do take this low, then I will reanalyze and tell you that, all right, we have reasons to believe that these levels will get met. Or we could potentially take this low and still form something that shows us that we will bottom even before going as low as these levels. So until then, we will only have to reanalyze in another video. But for now, there has not been any reason to believe or to be on the idea that we are going to go to the downside like so. Note that on the weekly time frame, and this is something that I want to show you before we end the show, the highest peak for this cup and handle is this 82 to 84k area. That means that it could also be the top, yeah? So we will reanalyze whenever we do get as high as these levels right here. That's just the reason why I say, depending on how we interact with certain levels, both to the upside or to the downside, I will have to update you and tell you where we are most possibly going to go next. But for now, in the intraday on the 4-hourly time frame, I would say that there is a chance that we head up as high as 68k, because even 68 will be the 0.5 of this particular candle right here. 0.5 is not really a Fibonacci number, but a lot of traders use it, so it turns to like just work. So yeah, somewhere around 68, which is here, I would be on the idea that we go up as high as this 68k level. Now, note that we may go as high as this and still come back as low as these levels right here. And these levels is actually where we want to watch to see what happens, because that will be filling the CME gap. The CME gap, as we showed before, is not completely filled, but if we do come down as low as here, I'd be expecting that we move back to the upside and not take this low right here. So that's pretty much it, folks. These are the lowest zones that I think we could go to. If we were to have some sort of crash, these would be the lowest zones that I'd be on the idea that we go to. The reason why I'll be buying my altcoins, well, some altcoins, even though it drops, is because Bitcoin dominance can be very tricky. Bitcoin dominance, I think it will go higher. But the problem is you don't know if it's going to go higher in a Bitcoin rally or in a Bitcoin dump. And so you don't want to sell off some altcoins on the idea that it's going to be on a Bitcoin dump, which will cause altcoins to plummet, because you really do not know. Yeah, what if it does go up on a Bitcoin rally? Because this Bitcoin dominance can go as high as 58% in a Bitcoin rally. And that would mean that altcoins will not drop, but they will not go up as much. So the reason why I buy into some altcoins, even though I know that BTC may drop, is because this could drop as well. And if this does drop, the altcoins will rally in a Bitcoin consolidation. Maybe a consolidation that looks like so. So it may be gradually going down and altcoins are rallying. So you really never know. That's why I buy into some altcoins, even though I think BTC could dump. And of course, if BTC really dumps, there's a higher chance that altcoins are going to dump as well. But you really do not know. Hence why I look at them differently. If I find some altcoin at a good price, I'll just buy it. Eventually, except crypto goes to zero, eventually I will just make more money. Anyway, that's pretty much it, folks. I'll just be waiting to see what happens. But pretty much I am still on the idea that we continue to the upside with Mr. BTC. At least I don't have reasons yet to believe that we are going to crash horribly. Maybe we can, but at least for now, I cannot just say that that is the case. I will update you again when we do have some changes in the charts. As I told you the last time, when anything changes, I will let you know. And yeah, I'm a man of my word. So you will see my face again when we do have some changes in the charts. But until then, stay safe.